Imagine discovering a story that exists almost everywhere humans exist. Different languages, different countries, different centuries, different generations. Yet somehow the same mysterious character keeps appearing. The ghost. Long before movies, television, books, or the internet, people were already telling stories about mysterious figures that appeared in unexpected places. Stories about invisible visitors, stories about strange encounters, stories about things that seem to exist beyond ordinary understanding. But here's the interesting part. Nobody can even agree on what a ghost actually is. Ask 10 different people, and you'll probably get 10 different answers. Some imagine a transparent human figure floating through walls. Others imagine a shadow moving in the corner of a room. Some picture an invisible presence that can be felt but never seen. Others imagine something completely different. The idea changes constantly, yet the word ghost survives. Why? Because ghosts are less about what they are and more about what they represent. They represent mystery. Every generation inherits mysteries from the generation before it. Questions without clear answers. Events without obvious explanations. Feelings people struggle to describe. Ghosts became one way humans package those mysteries into stories. After all, humans naturally think in stories. When we hear something unusual, we don't simply record the event. We immediately begin building a narrative. What happened? Why did it happen? Who caused it? What does it mean? The human brain loves turning questions into stories, and ghosts may be one of the oldest stories ever created. Imagine living in a world without modern technology. No bright city lights, no phones, no cameras, no easy way to investigate unusual events. The night would feel very different. Darkness would dominate much of life. A strange sound outside might remain unexplained forever. A shadow glimpsed for only a second might never be identified. In such a world, imagination becomes a powerful tool. When answers cannot be found, stories fill the gap. And over time, those stories grow. Each person adds details. Each storyteller adds suspense. Each generation makes the story a little larger. Eventually, the story becomes stronger than the original mystery. That process may explain why ghost stories have survived for so long. But if ghosts began as stories, why are people still fascinated by them today? After all, modern life is filled with technology. We can illuminate entire cities. We can communicate instantly across the planet. We can record almost anything. Yet, ghost stories remain popular. Perhaps because technology answers many questions but never eliminates mystery completely. Humans are naturally curious. Once one mystery is solved, we immediately begin searching for another. Ghost stories continue to offer something many people enjoy: a puzzle, a question, a possibility. Whether someone believes in ghosts or not, the mystery itself remains entertaining. That is why ghost stories appear in movies, novels, games, and conversations. People enjoy exploring the unknown. Now let's look at what science generally says about the subject. Science usually approaches mysterious experiences differently than stories do. Instead of asking, "What supernatural thing happened?" Science often asks, "What natural processes could explain what happened?" This approach doesn't start with answers. It starts with questions. How reliable is human perception? How does memory work? How does the brain interpret incomplete information? These questions lead to some interesting possibilities. For example, the human brain is constantly processing enormous amounts of information, far more than we consciously notice. To manage all of that information, the brain makes shortcuts. It predicts, it fills gaps, it completes patterns. Most of the time, this works extremely well. Without these shortcuts, everyday life would be overwhelming. But occasionally, those shortcuts can create unusual experiences. A shadow may briefly resemble a person. A reflection may appear to move unexpectedly. An ordinary sound may seem meaningful because our attention suddenly focuses on it. The experience feels real because the brain is trying to create a complete picture from incomplete information. Another interesting idea involves expectation. Imagine entering an old building after hearing dozens of ghost stories about it. Your attention immediately changes. You listen more carefully. You notice details you would normally ignore. You become aware of every sound, every creak, every flicker of light. Your mind becomes focused on finding something unusual. Now imagine entering the exact same building without hearing any ghost stories beforehand. The experience might feel completely different. What we expect often influences what we notice. Not because people are dishonest, but because attention naturally follows expectation. Science also points out that humans are exceptional pattern recognition machines. We constantly search for meaning. We see shapes in clouds, faces in random objects, animals in rock formations. Our brains evolved to find patterns quickly. This ability helps us understand the world, but it can occasionally make ordinary things seem extraordinary. A random event may appear connected to another event. A coincidence may feel meaningful. An unusual sound may seem intentional. The brain naturally searches for explanations, and sometimes the explanation it creates becomes more memorable than the original event. But perhaps the most important question isn't whether ghosts exist. Perhaps the more interesting question is why humans enjoy being scared by them. Think about horror movies. People voluntarily watch them. People pay money to experience fear. People tell scary stories around campfires. People visit haunted attractions for fun. Why? Because fear experienced in a safe environment can be exciting. It creates suspense. It creates anticipation. It creates emotional intensity. Ghost stories allow people to explore fear without facing actual danger. In many ways, they function like mental roller coasters. Safe, temporary, yet thrilling. Children often experience ghost stories differently. For them, the boundary between imagination and reality can feel less certain. A dark room may seem full of possibilities. A strange sound may become part of an adventure unfolding inside their imagination. As people grow older, they often become less afraid of ghosts themselves. Yet many never stop enjoying ghost stories. The fear changes into curiosity. The mystery remains, and that mystery may be the true reason ghosts continue to survive. Ghosts are not simply characters in stories. They represent unanswered questions. And humans have always been fascinated by unanswered questions. We explore oceans because they are mysterious. We study space because it is mysterious. We investigate ancient civilizations because they are mysterious. Ghosts belong to that same category. They occupy the space between certainty and imagination. Whether someone believes in them or not, they continue to inspire questions. And questions are often more powerful than answers. So what are ghosts? Maybe they are stories created to explain mysteries. Maybe they are symbols of the unknown. Maybe they are products of imagination, culture, and human curiosity. Or maybe the answer is something nobody has fully figured out yet. Whatever the truth may be, ghosts reveal something fascinating about humanity. They show how much we love stories, how strongly we seek meaning, how naturally we imagine possibilities, and how deeply we are attracted to mysteries that refuse to disappear. Because in the end, ghosts may not tell us much about the supernatural, but they tell us a great deal about ourselves, and that might be the most interesting mystery of all.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, share and comment. See you soon.